morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I didn't hear you say good morning. Aren't you excited to be here? You should be. I think Dr. Dressen is a man with a gift. And this kind of procedure for us is the gift of our time. So why wouldn't we want to open it? They restore all kinds of things today. They restore old houses, old cars, and old ladies. So it is such a pleasure to be here and talk to you about my experience. My husband and I have both had our faces worked on. I think that sometimes what's going on the inside, as we age, it's more and more difficult to reflect what we feel on the outside because things start to change. So as a psychotherapist, I know the importance of presenting yourself and what we call affect, which is how the face looks to someone else. We actually rate that in my field. So it was important for me, for my patients and my clients, when they look at me, to sense what's going on the inside coming out in what they see on the outside. So I think this is one of the greatest opportunities for you. They will take you right through it. Dr. Dressen is so professional and interested in you. He cares about what you want, what the effect that you desire in your life. The staff, so encouraging, so gracious, so kind, always professional. If we ever had a question, it didn't matter what time of day it was, somebody was there to answer that. So I can't thank my husband enough because his journey was before mine. He had some work done before I did, so I was able to kind of sit back and watch Dr. Dressen with him and the staff. And we have been around this place since about 2004, 2005 or something like that. So just a day or two, we've been hanging around these people. So we can tell you that over the long term, this is the way to go. If you are considering this is who you want to do it. You don't want anybody else to touch you. I wanted, my desire was to have just a real natural kind of, I wanted to just look myself a year or two younger. And the other thing that happened with me was my profile, as you could see in that picture, was quite dramatic. But when I looked at myself in the mirror, I didn't see this so much, but my husband did. And he said, you know, it's so much better for you to think about doing this now, rather than getting, down into your late 60s or something, do it now. So if you're younger here and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll wait 10 years, maybe I'll wait 15 years, do it now. Now's your time. You wouldn't be here if you weren't really considering this. So I just want to encourage you, no matter what age you are, if this will enhance your life, if this restoration, this refreshing will make you feel better, go for it. It's your gift. Open it.
Thank you, girl. Yes. She's going to give us a little word.
She's a tough act to follow, so good morning to you.
Need a little hairdo then, I can see that.
I, by profession, have been a pastoral life coach for about 30 years, and so one of the things I deal with, if you look at the definition of that, is taking people from predictable futures to impossible ones. My predictable future as I aged was I began to sag and began to look older. I am 13 years senior to my wife, so it was important to me that I began to look well. I look at things probably a little different than you. When I was looking at Dr. Dressen, I looked at three things: historically, professionally, and culturally. Historically, I looked at the fact, what kind of treatment have his former patients had? Now, I did this 2 years before I became a patient of his. I studied him 2 years, went to several interviews, looked at things well, watched his staff, interviewed patients that had been with him for a couple of years, and found historically that it was consistent. The care that he gave his patients was beyond even excellence. Professionally, I checked him out professionally. I checked him out nationwide. I checked him out with his peers, and I found that consistently, over and over again, people admired his work, they looked to his work, they studied his work, and so I was very felt very confident there. And then culturally, this is what I meant by that. I wanted to have something done that when my friends saw me, they wouldn't look at me and say, "Oh, you had a facelift." I had seen, to my estimation anyway, a lot of disasters. And so I met with Dr. Dreschen several times. We had our first procedure together. I need to tell you that the care was fabulous. It was just fabulous. Any questions, as Carol said, we asked, were answered immediately. Projection of our care was set out. They gave us an outline to follow and who was going to take care of us and those kinds of things. So the care was fabulous. But all during that same process, as we met with Dr. Dreschen over and over again, he consistently, not only in his artistic value, but consistently talked to us and encouraged us and said, "What are you looking for yourself?" So it was a real pleasure to do that. Now, it's been 10 years since I've been there, and I've been there for a couple of procedures already, and I plan to have one more if I need one more, or two more, or three more, whatever. I think for all of us, we're in a stage of our life for all of us, and we live in a society that looking good is great, feeling good is great. And I recommend taking this kind of procedure and working with Dr. Dreschen especially to anybody at any age. It's a fabulous thing to feel good about yourself and a fabulous thing to know that, I'll just sum it up this way. The return on investment, absolutely priceless. Priceless. And I would encourage you to work with Dr. Dreschen and with his staff. They're absolutely outstanding. Thank you.